Hi guys, the Crafty Wagner here. Today I'm going to show you how to import your SVG file and use it for our brand new design for the Mother's Day Mama's Relaxation shirt with our race car track on the back. So without further ado, I'm going to show you how to do it in Cricut Design Space. Now, obviously the tools are transferable over to Silhouette and Cameo, but I unfortunately don't have that software, so hopefully you guys can get something out of this as well. So obviously we've opened up a new canvas. I'm just going to upload our SVG file, and it's as simple as doing like the PNGs as well. It's just it gives us a little bit more freedom. So I'm just going to put our SVG in, and it has all three variations on there. It looks a little bit messy at the moment, but it will make sense momentarily. So it is quite a large image, so you might want to just bring it down for now. That's our sizing, just in case you've never used this before. Our sizing is our width and our height. Obviously, like, we'll change that a little bit later as we get to our actual sizing for the shirt. So now we're in a viewable area. We are going to look over at the side at the groupings, and so currently everything is in one gigantic group, and then they're separated into little groups underneath here. We sometimes just need to collapse them down so that you can see what you're working with. So at this moment we're going to hit the big group and say ungroup. So what that has done is allowed us to select certain portions. So there's our symbols with our cars and our arrows and our tree, and I'm going to actually join that back up with our figure 8 road. So I'm going to hit group for that one, so I can move that out of the way. Now it's up to you, depending on what color shirt and everything you do. On this design, this road here is cut out for you. So if you've got, for example, I did mine on a blue shirt. I don't mind that the road dots are blue, but if you'd like them white, I do have the option here. So you can keep that one and just fit it in as you resize as well. That's completely up to you. That would be on a different board. I'm just going to, anything you don't want to cut, you just hit the little eye and it will take it off. Like, it's still there, but it will take it off your cutting platform. So in saying that, let's come over here. So we've got our Mama's Relaxation shirt, Mom's Relaxation shirt, and Mum's Relaxation shirt. So because this one's going to be for me, I'm going to have Mum's. I'm going to close the eye on Mama's and close the eye on Mom's. So from here, what we can see is, so this one's a group. But when it is a group, it's not actually melded together, if that's the right word. So say I was to make this bigger so that you can see it, and sometimes it's just easier to change the material color. I like to just change it to the light pink, because that way it's not blending in with your white. But if you take a look, because these are different fonts, and I had to pull these up, that's actually going to show us all those pieces of cut. So it's actually going to cut along where we don't want it to. We actually want it to be melded together. Another thing to note as well, anytime you're using anything in Design Space, is a group doesn't actually bring a design together when it's cutting. So I'll show you right now. If we were just to try and do this by itself, this is what we would get. So we hit the Make It button. Obviously this is sorting by color, but you know, Mum's relaxation shirt has been split up into all the different letters, and it's just going to give you a little bit of a heartache. Look, it even did that to the car. It separated the little roof pieces, and we don't want that. So we hit cancel, go back now, and that's where these tools down the bottom come in handy. So what you're going to do is, for this one, for example, I mean, again, it's up to you which ones you want to do, but say all these ones are part of the car. If I'm going to make them all black, then I can make that one black, I can make that one black, and that will add them all onto the mat for you. So now that I have made all of these the same color, they will still only just go on the same mat. So if we hit make it again, now we've got all of our pieces on the right color mat, but they're still not all together. So what we need to do from here is collect, like hold our mouse down over all of them and hit attach. By hitting attach, what you're doing is making sure everything stays in its place. So now if we were to hit make it and zoom in so you can see, everything stays in its place now, and will cut out accordingly. So the other one is still a mishmash, and so we need to go back. So that one is attached. Now this one here, if we hit attach, it will put it all in its place and put it on the right mat. But if we have a look, it's still going to cut out all those pieces that we don't want them to cut. So we can just Control Z and undo that. But if we select this group again and say weld instead, weld has put everything all together and pushed it all together for us. So that should look much better. So if we were to hit make it again, just doing our previews back and forth before we do anything, and we can zoom in and make sure that all of that is going to cut properly. So from here, all we need to do is make sure we've got our two groups, we've got our attach and our weld, as well as all of our groups here that I've decided I'm not going to cut, but they don't need to go anywhere. So this is our attach, just making sure you've got the right width and height. I'm going to do 9 inches because that's going to go on my back, and I want my son to be able to use his cars on my back, so it's going to be a large one. This one I'm going to do, this is going to be the front, and it's a large shirt, so yes, I'm going to do 9.5 inches wide. Now, it doesn't really matter what color it is in Design Space. All that matters, so if I want to have both of these of the same color, because I'm going to print them out on the same color. I'm actually going to use black. I just find it visually easier to see it on the actual make it column rather than using the black. So it doesn't really matter as long as whichever color you are using in real life, that you're putting them on the correct mats. So let's go from here to make it. It's going to put it on a larger mat, which I do have. And so I do have a 12 by 24, and because this is an iron-on, we're going to set it to mirror, so it will put it backwards for us, and we can go from here to our Cricut machine and put it shiny side down, follow the instructions, hit continue, and I will see you guys there after it's already been made.